Hi everyone, and welcome to today's masterclass, 7 Strategies to Activate Your VIP Status. Today I'm going to show you how to really activate your visibility, your influence, and your presence with 7 easy strategies that I've used personally in my career walk as a leader in high-profile organizations and as a wildly successful businesswoman. My name is Angie Nuttall, and I am an author, a speaker, and a talent remodeler. I spent about 20 years in corporate America, and I've been behind the scenes and have personally seen what helps people to be visible and what helps them to influence with power and what helps them to show up with authentic presence in order to get a specific result. I'm going to share some of those secrets today with you, some of those strategies. I also want to take a moment to introduce our featured guest speaker, Amanda Moxham, who is a wonderful friend and also a powerful colleague of mine that I've worked with personally. She's an outstanding woman. I just want to give her a chance to introduce herself so you can get to know her. So Amanda?
Thanks, Angie. Hi, everyone. My name is Amanda Moxham, and I'm a talent developer, an organizational culture specialist, and also a strategic coaching leader. And the strategies that we'll be sharing with you today are all strategies that I've used for myself. They are also strategies that I have used for teams that I've worked with in order to really help them develop leadership capabilities and also do a lot of this inside-out work that we'll be talking to you about. So I look forward to being part of your leadership journey, and let's go ahead and begin.
Fantastic. Here's what we'll be doing for you today. We want to get you to VIP status, and we want to do that through 3 main building blocks. And my goal is to show you what VIP status looks like. I also want to be able to give you 3 VIP readiness questions, or basically a 3-question assessment, so that you can test your readiness and really identify some of the things that could potentially be obstacles for you and some of the things that you already have going for you. I will freely share 7 simple and incredible strategies that I mentioned. I've used personally, and I have used in some of my most successful coaching and high potential programs, and also with my private clients. I truly am giving you a wealth of information, and you can't help but experience a return on investment of your time today when you actually complete the masterclass and implement these strategies. I put a tremendous amount of effort into thinking through what would be of most benefit to you. So this is a professional level session and one that is free right now. And normally this class would be taught at $397 a person. So immediately you're going to get a $397 gift from me as a token of my appreciation for you for signing up today, for your circumstances and your desire to find a deeper meaning around your professional and your personal life. So bottom line, I am showing you how to be successful by teaching you to be correctly visible, to influence powerfully without being a bully. And I'm also showing you how to show up with presence in a way that people feel good about you and you feel good about yourself. And I want to do this to accomplish this goal that people feel drawn to you, and that's a key. This is really about an emotional response, and we always like to sell with facts, but really we have to make an emotional connection with people. You might be saying or might be asking, Angie, why are you doing this for free? I'm doing this because I have a mission and a heart for people in business who have brilliance within themselves, and for a number of reasons, you haven't been able to break through the gatekeepers of visibility in your jobs, in your business, in your career. There are so many barriers and a lot of people competing for the attention of decision makers, whether it's a leader, a client, or a customer, or even a colleague or a friend. I understand what this struggle is, and I've been where you are. I know how it feels when you are being called to do something greater, and nobody is seeing that at the moment. It's not visible to them yet. I've been in the place where I struggle to influence and get what I need to further my mission. Even as a kid, I struggled with this. I just remember, for example, I had this transition from 6th to 7th grade. I moved from a small town that I had pretty much grown up in and was comfortable there. One day we had to move. My dad was quite the achiever and he got a leadership position, so we moved to a new area. It was completely different. I noticed right off the bat that people did not respond to me the way that they did in my previous school. And it was a horrible experience. We were in a situation where we ended up having to move 2 years later, and I was so relieved when that happened because my social experience was just devastating to me. So I made up my mind when we moved into this new place that I was going to reinvent myself. I was not going to go through that experience again. And it's amazing, even as a kid, that I recognized that there are social complexities that happen. I just remember the feeling that I had, that I was minimized and criticized for my thoughts and ideas, and it stings. It's really painful, and you've probably experienced that to some degree in your own personal life. Out of that whole situation, there's just this social justice value operating in me where I want to rescue people from the pain of their situation. I want to be able to pull you up, encourage you, and inspire you. So I want to show you the way to freedom and that you are equal to everyone in the room, not less, not lower than, and you can even show up like a bright bulb in the room because of what's working inside of you. Today's masterclass is free because it is my gift to you. To you who know that you have value, you just need to know how to showcase your worth in a way that is authentic and true to yourself. And later on, I want to give you the opportunity, as I mentioned, to go all the way to a fully sustainable change. And it requires a true desire to evolve from where you are today, to fully be the person you need in order to accomplish your goals, your mission, and build your legacy. This masterclass was designed for those who recognize that your time is now. And I want to reward you and applaud you for knowing that the time is right now. People who wait to respond, fence sitters, that's what I call them, they should pay to experience this kind of masterclass because they recognize their time too late or not at all. They're just going to have to wait for another window or another opportunity. Like I mentioned, this class would normally cost some bucks in order to participate, but you are already going to get that return on investment for something that hasn't cost out of your pocket. And it hasn't cost you a dime because you've answered the call. So thank you for that. And I'm excited about partnering with you, and I'm excited about what Amanda and I are going to bring to you in this session. Now, what I do is I call it talent remodeling, and that's really what my business is about. This is how I make my living, by showing people how to do this successfully in a way that leads them to more impact, to more profitability, more peace, more time, and more freedom to do the things that they love doing. And I want you to be doing what you love doing. And so bottom line, I've solved some complex social puzzles. I've found VIP solutions that actually work. I've implemented VIP solutions with many people so that they can upgrade their business class. If any of you have ever done travel, you know what a painful experience it is when you're waiting to get on your plane and you see the first class, business class, being called to get in their seats and get comfortable, and you're back here in group 5 waiting and just feeling the pain of that status and how you wish you could, I wish I could just go ahead and get on that plane, just get settled in and comfortable. Well, walking through some of the strategies that we have today, it's going to help you in business to reach the status that you need to reach in order to be effective and to push forth your mission, to really be visible, influential, and showing up with authentic presence. I've worked for a number of these companies, and I've done this kind of work for a number of these companies, and even now I'm starting to do some work for some of these companies. I've also been featured on and talked about talent remodeling and around executive presence and VIP status with these organizations and these publications and social media outlets and radio stations. I immediately wrote a book once I went into consulting because I realized how important it was for people to understand that you can develop visibility, you can develop influence, and you can develop your presence in a way that you are seen, heard, valued, and celebrated. I want to help you with that today. Here's the deal. We're not only going to give you 7 strategies, but you are also going to be getting a bonus strategy today towards the end of the masterclass. You're going to also get a chance to completely activate your VIP status. We know from experience and just being in this this line of work that it's really hard to do a lot of things on your own. And so we do offer services where we can guide you and coach you. And we even have some options for all of you do-it-yourselfers out there who feel like you can handle this on your own and you're totally accountable and you can do it. It's not to say that you're not going to get anything out of the 7 strategies, because you are. They're going to be powerful. They're going to be very eye-opening to you, and they're just going to be part of an overall library that you can pull from. And so we want to give you a chance to have a look at that library and have it help you. All right, so let's talk about why you are here. And you're here because you relate to what I just spoke about when I was talking about some of the pains that you have as you are trying to show up well in the business world. You know what that's like. You want to build respect and credibility. You have something powerful to offer. You know it, and maybe not everyone is seeing it yet. You want to wake up every day feeling amazed at what you're accomplishing, and you want to feel proud of your work, and you want to feel like you're a part of something greater. You are here because you do deserve to be seen, heard, valued, and celebrated. So this is important because, when I show you the strategies, you really have to be mentally and emotionally prepared to take these on. You want to be able to take them on. And this isn't always for everyone. And Amanda will share in just a few minutes about who this masterclass really is for and who it's not for. But before we go there, I just want to emphasize to you that you're ultimately here because you want a different result than what you're experiencing today. You want something different, and we're all here for different reasons, but what we all have in common is that we are looking for something else. I want to just pull out some specific reasons that you might be here and why you're needing different results. And these are many of the reasons I've heard myself, and it's to live up to a role that you were put into. Some people are here just because you want to raise your level of income. You don't want to be intimidated by bullies. You want to become a leader. You want to increase your profitability in business, and I can go on and on about the list, but all of them lead to this one thing. You're here because you're on this spectrum somewhere, and this spectrum of pain versus pleasure. Some of you have really experienced some great pain. You've suffered some loss, some humiliation, being excluded. Maybe you've had some disappointment in your role. Maybe some fear that's operating in you. It could be something as simple. Someone was chosen over you for a promotion or a project, and it was a role that you wanted to take on and you felt passionately about, and you got looked over. Or maybe you were embarrassed by someone who seemed to disarm you with cutting words in front of a group and you had no response. Or maybe you even just made a mistake that hurt your credibility. You may have even checked out to preserve yourself from any further humiliation. Maybe you just decided that, hey, I'm pulling back my performance. You think that being in this neutral middle ground is safe for you. And others of you have been on the other spectrum of this, the pleasure spectrum. Maybe you've tasted fulfillment. You've known what it's like to feel that complete joy and satisfaction and completing something meaningful. You've seen the good life, you've had relaxation, you've had fullness, and all of these things are on the spectrum. But ultimately, we're all looking for happiness, right? We all want happiness in the end. Recently, Time magazine put out a special edition about happiness. It was pretty powerful, so if you see it in the grocery stores, pick it up. But basically what that research says by Paul Dolan is that in order for people to really have true happiness, you have to have these two things. It's not just about pleasure, but it's also about having a purpose. And this is what we call the pleasure purpose principle. And this is something that in my organization, we operate by, the School of Executive Presence. This brings it all together. And so this is what we're trying to get to. Here's the thing. I want to be very upfront with you and let you know that if you want a different result, you are going to have to remodel some ways that you currently think, feel, and activate in order to get those results. That result is dependent upon you, but also the people around you. So this is a two-party deal. You're not a victim, but you have to recognize that there are always going to be people around you that have to react in a certain way. You can't control that, but what you can do is control how you show up. You start showing up and you start drawing a target audience. You're not always going to just draw everybody. And so that's something to plant in your mind. So if you're ready, I'm sure that Amanda is ready to get going. We would just want to make sure that we have the right people here. Amanda, who is this masterclass for and who is it not for?
Okay, this masterclass is really designed for the right person. I've got 4 attributes that I want to share with you so that you can do an internal check here and see where you stand. So the first one is, I want to make sure that you continue to resonate with what we've shared with you and talked with up to this point. If everything resonates with you so far and this all is making sense and it feels like it is exactly what you need, then you are in the right place. The next one is to make sure that you want to learn how to build your VIP status, but maybe you're not sure how to go about it, and that's okay. That's exactly what this class is for. We just want to make sure that you want to learn how to build that VIP status, and we're here to help you do that. The third attribute is I want to make sure that if you're someone who's been trying on your own to develop and you haven't seen a significant result, this class is for you. This really indicates that you've done some research on your own, done some exploring, maybe some reading, and even received some coaching on specific areas where you're looking to improve. And if you haven't seen the results that you're hoping to achieve, then again, you are definitely in the right place. And lastly, if you have a willing mindset, and you are actually able and willing to do something with what you've learned, then you are exactly in the right place. If you are ready to learn how to be seen, heard, valued, and celebrated, then I want to reassure you that this masterclass is definitely for you. Next, I've got some components of who this class may not be for. So I'm going to go through these pretty quickly. This is not the class for you if you're a window shopper and you want a quick return on investment without really investing any time or energy or effort. Also, if you are content to be a victim, I think that's pretty plain and simple. If what's worked for you so far hasn't gotten you where you want to go and you're frustrated by that and living in more of a negative cycle, this isn't the class for you. We're ready to turn the chapter on that and move forward. If you're looking for a quick Google Crumbs way to develop yourself, and what I mean by that is really just someone who wants quick tidbits that are fluffy and light and easy, this is not the class for you. Also, if you have no desire to interact or actually add value to other people around you, this class will not be the best class for you. We're really going to be asking you not only to take a look at some of the areas for yourself that you need to work on, but also understanding how those different behaviors impact other people around you. And lastly, if you intend to use this material for any unethical purpose or to manipulate people, this is definitely not the place for you to be. And what I mean by that is there are definitely strategies and behaviors as far as the VIP status goes that, if used incorrectly, could be viewed as being unethical. So we want to just make sure we do a gut check on that and you're in the right mindset and in the right place, and we're ready to go. Next, Angie is going to be sharing with you some success profiles.